Oh, breathe, just breathe. Oh, breathe, just breathe. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Izzy's Vocal Tips. Today's topic's going to be about breathing. Because in order to produce sound, you need air. So if you ever wanted to ask yourself, or if you've ever told yourself, I can't sing, guess what? You'd be wrong. Because as long as you can talk and you have a healthy speaking voice, guess what? You can sing. I mean, really, like singing, all singing is like just like using your voice and just sustaining it. Like, so if you can think of the word no, for instance, I mean, even just saying no, like if I was just saying that shortly, but then if I was to elongate it, no, that's a note right there. I don't know what note that is, but that's a note. Could probably try to find it. Anyway, I digress. We want to focus on being able to breathe correctly when we're singing. And there's a lot of misinformation out there about how to breathe, because growing up, I was taught that you basically need to gather all of your air into your belly and push it out. Turns out that was wrong. Actually, breathing is very natural. All you need is basically the air that you naturally already breathe in. You breathe when you're talking, you breathe when you're sleeping. It's the same. What you shouldn't be doing when you're breathing, because here's the other thing. I mean, I learned, I don't know how true this is, but when we're babies, we actually breathe the natural way. And as we grow older, we I don't know, I guess we breathe incorrectly, because many times when we think of taking a deep breath, we think about puffing out our chest. That's not correct either. So, so the best way that I can describe this is allowing your lungs to fill themselves without huffing or puffing or bringing up the shoulders. That's all incorrect. So I don't know if you've ever heard the expression, I'm sure many of you have, breathe from the diaphragm. What does that even mean? And I for the longest time, I didn't even know what the diaphragm even was. So essentially, it's like this organ that's like beneath your ribs. So, let me get my little friend here. This right here is Victor. This is the best way that I could describe it. So your diaphragm, so your lungs, like first let's look at, these are your lungs, right? So they stop right here, just beneath your rib cage, right? And then your diaphragm would go somewhere here. And all that happens with your diaphragm is like as you're breathing, when you breathe in, your diaphragm goes down. When you release the air, it goes back up and inside this area, this little cavity over here. So like essentially breathe in, like would be, that's your diaphragm. Breathe out, it goes back inside. It doesn't really do anything. It's not where your air supply is coming from. That's what I believed for the longest time. It's actually the air is coming from your lungs. And what it means to breathe from your diaphragm is fill your lungs enough so that it's pushing the diaphragm down. That's all they're basically saying. But what I want to argue is that air doesn't just come from, your lungs, so to speak, there. You also want to cause like your sides and your back to like have all of your air supply. So this is inhaling. Just keep in mind, this is inhaling. So if we're looking at our friend Victor again, I just want to use a little hair tie here to go all around him to show you exactly the areas you're supposed to, supposed to be affected while you're breathing in. So it's supposed to be this whole area over here. The sides as well are supposed to go out when you breathe. Back here as well, you're like, it's supposed to, like, that's supposed to move up and down as you breathe, so that you're getting all of your air supply from the bottom section of your body. I mean, it's not to say that it's limited to that, like you need your air up here as well, but what you shouldn't see is that your air is like confined to this space, because this is a very tiny area up here of like your lungs. Like that's not enough air. It's not enough support, and that's essentially what this is to represent, where all your support should be coming from, this whole area back here, because you're filling up. Now, keep in mind that I'm not saying that, oh, in order to sing, that has to be completely full at all times. No, hear me out. So when you're singing, essentially all you're doing is you're letting out air. I mean, naturally you do let out air when you're talking. Like right now, I am speaking this last sentence on one like breath. Now I'm gonna breathe in again, see? And now I'm using that little breath to say the rest of what I'm saying right now. Singing works the same way. The only difference is you use a little more resistance when you're letting out that air. So a good exercise to try so that you get used to that sensation is, I call it like the hissing sound, or if you can envision like a balloon deflating itself, except that with a balloon, it doesn't use any, I'm sorry for the noise, my neighbors are very noisy, except that the air does not, like the balloon itself is not compressing itself. All it's doing is releasing air. And I guess you could say we are essentially, we're not deflating ourselves, but we're basically resisting. We're slowing down the process of the air escaping us. And that's what we're doing when we're speaking too, when you think about it. We're just not using as much resistance speaking as we are when we're singing. So to speak right now, I'm not really working hard to like release air. I'm controlling it. But as you're singing, you have to do it even more. So try this exercise, and as you're doing it, I mean, the air is naturally coming out of you, but try to make sure that you're not letting it all out at once. So I have more air. I'm just demonstrating how it's supposed to look. So I actually did breathe in so that all the way around I had air, and I didn't let it out all at once. Like I still had air left over. Try that exercise several different times, and you'll find actually that you'll be able to do it longer and longer. Try it for like, because starting out, you're going to be able to do it for maybe like anywhere between 30 to 45 seconds. And then try to see if you can get yourself to do it for for a minute. The more you continue to practice that, the easier the whole air resistance is going to get. Another exercise you want to try, because that's basically doing it just with the air alone. Another exercise that you want to try though is you want to maybe try to do it on a scale. So here's one, like, I mean, this is a bit of a tricky exercise. If you're just starting out, it's okay. You'll eventually get it right. Just stand in front of a mirror and practice this. It's going, again, breathe. Make sure that you're breathing all the way around, not like completely, filling your, like ballooning up so that like all you have is air inside you. No, you want to get just enough air to be able to do this exercise. So, and I know that's a bit hard. Some people will go, no, we're not trying to like, you're essentially trying to blow a raspberry, but not as intense as you would do it like if you were doing it on a baby's tummy. No, you just want to go like, try to say butter, but just blow a little bit of air. And I mean, that will help you as well with resisting the air flow coming out too quickly. And I like to do it on a scale. So breathe again. And so on and so forth. You can keep going higher, you can go lower, you can keep going up and down. The idea is you want to get that area, like your midsection, like so this midsection plus your back, this area, like this, your sides as well. You want to get them accustomed to releasing and pushing out air, like inhaling and pushing out air. But I shouldn't say the word pushing, because it's not so much as pushing out air as it is just sort of allowing your body to release the air, but controlling it so that it's not all coming out at once. And that's essentially how you can get yourself to start breathing correctly. Another exercise that I think would be very helpful. This one can make you a bit dizzy, so be careful. Make sure to drink water while you're doing it, because I find that my tongue gets itchy when I do this one. But it's essentially taking a balloon and just inflating it, like using those muscles to inflate it, and then releasing. So blowing and then letting go, like an inhaling again. Inhale and then I think the best way to describe it is inhale and blow into the balloon. Inhale, then blow into the balloon. And that's one of the ways that you can get your system accustomed to that resistance, because the balloon will resist your air, right? So in that sense, you're pushing, you're using your diaphragm area, like I want to call it your diaphragm area, because you're not really using your diaphragm to breathe. Your diaphragm is going down as you push the air. And then as you breathe in air again, and I recommend, honestly, not breathing in the same air in the balloon, because carbon dioxide grows. So just breathe in and then release that air, try again. And then breathe the natural air, and then again, so that your system is getting used to that resistance. And try a thicker balloon as well, because you might want to start, like if you're not used to the sensation, start with like a thinner balloon and then move up to a thicker balloon. And then that should get you started for breathing. We're gonna cover breathing more in the future, but I just want you to get used to that sensation first, and then later on, we will cover more. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave comments down in the comment section if you have any questions, or if you really enjoyed this video, let me know how this has helped you. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.